Accreditation survey after the surveyors leave. There's a collective sigh that occurs when they leave, unless you have a sighting that is threatening your accreditation. I was never in that situation, but maybe one time. It turned out we were not. Our accreditation was not threatened, but there was a sighting that could have threatened our accreditation. And other than that one moment, it was it was a collective relief. There were Sundays, there was some kind of party, cake, ice cream, whatever for everybody when the surveyors left. But that one time was different. People were very concerned. It turned out to be an interpretation issue. There was some back and forth with the Joint Commission, and very quickly over the phone it was resolved within a week's time. But it did seem to extend the survey. Assuming that you don't have a situation like that, when the surveyors leave, you are relaxed. Even though it's been a challenging time, exciting time, there is an exhale that finally does occur, and it's nice. But you can't really just rest on your laurels. Although, to be honest, in the Joint Commission 3-year cycle, unless you get some kind of interim survey, which I wish on no one, it really is one of those things where you can sit there and just take just a moment to pause, take an extra day off. I think everybody leaves early or stays home an extra day on the weekend, and just enjoy it. And also make sure you recognize your folks who put that effort in, that work on your team. But they leave, and there's still a little bit of work to be done, though. A little bit of work to be done. Well, like I said, celebrate after the survey. Update, educate, and integrate. The celebrate and update, really, that's the part that you want to do right after they leave. You want to have that little celebration. You want to summarize. If you've not been summarizing each day with your staff already, certainly there will be an exit meeting that we talked about. There will be information that will come out that you've taken your notes. You'll want to update your staff. You'll want to start laying the groundwork for the work ahead, the improvement opportunities you have that have been pointed out by the surveyor. And you'll want to start even prioritizing those during the survey that you're going to present to the staff. And then you're going to want to go into that consummate education mode, and then thinking about integration. How do you integrate these changes and these improvements in the future? You want to organize findings for the next survey. When they come to the survey, it's interesting. Not every surveyor asks or goes in any great depth about findings from the previous survey. They are doing that a little bit more, though. They have done that a little more recently. But it's important, I think, to take those issues, make sure they're organized well enough in such a way that when the next surveyor comes in, again, that could even be part of your story, showing that you paid attention to the last time, to talk about it proactively. Just write, hey, these are findings, and this is how we address them, and this is how we continue to maintain them. And I think that will create for a nice start. But start organizing your findings and thinking about the next survey already. Again, work with the accreditation team to deliver follow-up and format on findings. That's the interesting part. When survey teams come in, depending upon who it is, each surveyor state, Joint Commission, the other, they have a certain criteria for format, and it's very precise how things have to be written and what order they have to be put in, and even really what language has to be used. And I know that kind of tripped me up a little bit in the beginning. It was language more than anything. They gave me a format, I filled it out, and I had to go back and forth a time or two because the way it was written, the language in which it was used had to be changed specifically. But I found that out afterwards. So you really want to make sure you deliver the follow-ups in the right format the first time. So that's an important thing to do after the survey. Well, that pretty much wraps it up. We've gone through the accreditation process. We'll be touching in on the accreditation process more as we get into some of the other classes. Probably not. Again, we're going to spend more time on codes and standards as it relates to the NFPAs and some of the other accreditation regulatory agencies. And maintenance and operation, again, we'll touch on accreditation a little bit, but this section is probably going to be one of the deeper levels that we're going to go into for accreditation. So I hope I gave you a good sense of the accreditation process through this semester. I hope this presentation sort of kind of wrapped up a little bit what goes on inside the facility for accreditation as a facilities manager. But I really enjoyed being able to just sort of give you a glimpse and give you a flavor of the accreditation process. And I know many of you out there have many accreditation experiences and stories that could contribute to this presentation. And I'd appreciate any feedback you might have on that. So thanks for listening, and I look forward to wrapping up this semester.